Are you really leading or just giving instructions? Leadership isn't about your office or your title. It's about connection. You can't connect with people, you can't lead them. I'm Jason, I'm the leadership guy, and I'm here to help you become a better leader. The story is told of a CEO who failed to lead his company through a crisis because he never did anything to connect with his people. Instead of doing that, he isolated himself in his huge office in the executive suite. On the rare occasion where he needed to go to a meeting in another building on the campus, instead of walking across the campus where, God forbid, he might actually meet another employee, instead, he traveled from his office down in a private elevator where he arrived in a private garage and his private driver met him, drove him a couple of hundred meters across the campus to the other building where he would meet. And when he arrived there, surprise, surprise, folks, what would happen? The security guards in that building would meet him at the door, escort him to the elevator that was empty and waiting for him and him alone. He would then travel up in the elevator and get to the floor where he would have his meeting. This kind of isolation and lack of connection made it impossible for him to lead the company when a crisis came. And as a result of that, the board replaced him. The new CEO that you brought in was a connector and a skilled communicator. One of the first things that he did was rearrange the entire executive suite because the former CEO office, that was obscenely huge. He said, not a bit of that, I don't want that. And he took a smaller office that was more conducive to him connecting with his staff. And that new CEO turned the company around and led them out of the crisis because he was able to connect with his people. He led from the front and led well. Connection is a foundational component of leadership. Titles, office, and authority mean nothing if you can't connect with the people that you lead. True leaders earn trust and influence by showing up, by engaging, and by being present with their people. Let me share with you 3 practical ways that you can connect with your people. Here's the first one. Show up where your people are. Don't hide in your office or your cubicle. Walk the floor, join team meetings, have casual check-in conversations with people. Presence builds trust. Walk slowly through the crowd. Connect with people. Ask questions. Chat with them. Listen. These are real life human beings. It's real flesh and blood. These folks aren't just factory workers. They aren't faces in the crowd. These aren't cogs in a wheel. These are real people with real lives. And you are leading them. So show up where they are, wherever it is that you are leading them. Show up there. Be there with them and for them. Here's a second thing that you can do to connect with people. Listen intentionally. Listen intentionally. People will talk to you if you will listen to them. Ask questions. Hear their ideas. Granted, you as a leader might not be able to implement all of the ideas that they have, but give them a fair hearing. You're not mamagaing them, to use a local term, right? You're not mamagaing them. You are creating the opportunity for them to actually to share. Here's one of the things that I do in various places. I like to engage people who are on the other side of the quote unquote service counter. Right? So if I'm in a store, the persons who are serving me. Recently, I was at a grocery store, and 2 staff members were repacking the shelves, and I'm there shopping. So I stopped, as I typically do so many times, just to engage them. I greeted them and asked them if I could ask them a couple of questions. And here's a simple question that I sometimes ask. If this was yours, if this were your shop, your bakery, your grocery, your whatever, what is one thing that you would do that is not being done right now that would make this better? and I genuinely listen to them. No, that's not my grocery, it's not my shop, right? But I created an opportunity for these strangers to interact with me, to connect with me. The next time I walk into that store and I wave hello to them, you think they will recognize me? For sure. For sure. If that can work like that with strangers, imagine what happens when you interact like that with your own team members. So chat with them, ask them questions, listen intentionally. Don't just ask a question and then you off. No, actually listen to what is being said. Here's a third thing that you can do to connect with people. Make your space inviting. Whether it is your office or your cubicle or your corner or whatever it is, where it is that you operate from, make the space inviting. It's not just about you. In the story that I told you earlier about the new incoming CEO and change arrangement, one of the things that he did was to take an office that was smaller and more appropriate and better suited to connecting with people. That's what we want to do. So whether it's a physical space or a virtual space that you create and you're bringing people into that space, make that space inviting. Make it a space that people they know that they can come, that they can come and sit and so. Some years ago in a previous career, I was overseeing some work that was being done to prepare a brand new location. And one of the contractors asked me if we had an open door policy. Really wasn't familiar with what he was referring to, didn't want to guess at it. And so he then shared that in his experience, some companies have what's called open door policies, in that the door of their various leaders are literally physically open. It's done on design so that staff members know that they can come. When that door is closed, there's a reason for that. There's probably a meeting going on or it's an important phone call that's going on. But outside of that, the door is open because they want to invite their team members to come in. In your space, wherever you're operating from, your office, your cubicle, your corner across there, physical space, virtual space, make that space inviting so people will feel welcome to come into that space. Now, to help you take this further and more easily connect with your team members, I've created a resource called 5 questions that leaders can ask to better connect. Yeah, I know it's a bit of a mouthful. I apologize. 5 questions leaders can ask to better connect or to connect better, sorry. Those questions will help you to kickstart conversations, to set things up so that you can ask valuable questions that will allow people and encourage them to share with you. The link to that resource is in the description box below. So feel free to go ahead, click on the link and get access to the resource. I want you to think about your own leadership. When was the last time you intentionally connected with one of your staff members or one of your team members? When was the last time you did that? And what's one small change that you could make this week? Yeah, to be more present, to be more approachable, to be more engaged with your staff and your team members. Share that with us. Put it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And check out this video for more help in becoming a better leader. See you next time.